say tonight. Any other discussion?
Member comment, Mr.
Let us go through our procedures here. The floor is open for discussion about this. You have the floor.
This is a slap in the face to the citizens of the city. They've come here to express their opinions, which some people don't want to hear apparently. I think we need to reconsider this because the integrity of this body is in question now. I think long and hard about this one. It's just we're playing a game here. Thank you.
We have two cards. And somebody wants a third.
I call for the question.
As well.
Motion's on the floor and second. I'll close discussion. All in favor. We're going to have a roll call vote. Ms. Deborah, would you please call the roll?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. No. All right, folks.
Unbelievable.
I'm going to let her read the resolution and we'll proceed as what's proper by procedure.
Resolution. Notice of intent to proceed with due diligence on a capital outlay note of $38 million for a new high school, a new Lakeland High School.
We have a motion to bring this to the floor.
Yes, bring.
I have a motion in a second. The floor is open for discussion.
I will start if that's okay. Just as a matter of procedure,
Sure. You have the floor.
as a matter of procedure, I don't think we needed to bring it to the floor because it's already a adopted resolution. What I asked to have the special meeting about tonight was amending this resolution to give better direction to city staff, to our financial advisors, and any other professionals that are helping the city try to determine exactly what the possible tax rate would be. And so because of that, it was brought to my attention as I was trying to understand what parameters would affect the payment and various sorts, that pretty much every decision that we make is a policy decision. We can discuss that further. But because they're policy decisions, that means they need to come before the board. And so rather than one or two or however many of us giving direction, it makes more sense for the board to speak as a whole. So with that being said, I'd like to make the motion to amend this resolution with the following language. I have 8 points here, so it's going to take me about 3 or 4 minutes. But my motion to amend is as reads. I'd like to change the note amount from $38 million to $35 million. Item 2, use the full 1 cent tax rate per 100 of assessed value of $35,515, as this rate is based on an audited date of actual collected tax and not of gross taxes billed that may require discounting. 3, assume a change to City Hall expenditures of minus $700,000. This decrease is coming from a combination of a historically large roads budget and or City Hall operations, as well as new revenues will be used to support the full amount of the annual debt service. Item 4, do not assume any future City Hall operations will need to be included in this project. Item 5, assume no reserves are used or needed at this time for a new Canada Road project. The BOC directs staff to withdraw our city application for funding and anticipates reapplying for the next round of applications, which is believed to be 2023. The BOC will decide on financing options at that time, assuming the application is approved. Item 6, assume all general reserve funds not already committed to projects or the debt policy are available to pay off other debt obligations, whereby freeing up additional revenue for capital outlay note payment. This includes $1.5 million in the current fiscal year budget for a Lakeland Fire Department. This course of action was reversed, and the City of Lakeland, Tennessee has no imminent plans to separate from Shelby County Fire. Item 7, assume a 4-year agreement with the Lakeland Board of Education, whereas they contribute $700,000 annually. And item 8, price various call options to give the city flexibility.
Second.
Right, I have a motion and second on the floor. It is open for discussion of the amendment as read.
When you want to start on this one?
I'm going to give our folks a few minutes to read this real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
If someone would like to speak, just let me know.
Well, I got my first question.
You have the floor?
So we're not gonna work on roads anymore? You're telling me you're gonna, we can't keep up the roads we have now. And now we're gonna say we're not even gonna spend the money that we're spending now, which is not enough? That's nuts.
Are you directing the question towards me?
I'm directing to anybody who'll listen because, you know, this meeting started out pretty poorly, and so I'm not in a good mood. Go ahead.
You're welcome to excuse yourself.
No, I wouldn't miss this for the
Let's
world.
ask permission of the chair before we speak, please.
All right, the next problem here, you're telling me that the, number 4, I don't understand that one. The expenses to operate City Hall are going to change. And you're saying to eliminate, back out of the Canada Road expansion for the foreseeable future until 2023?
Commissioner Gonzalez, do you want me just to go through this and explain each one on my rationale?
No, I understand the rationale. I just think that's ridiculous. I mean, you really told us at the last meeting, we talked about this, that if we back out, the state may just blow us off and forget about it. I mean, this is absolutely nuts. I've had enough.
Mayor?
Yes, you have the floor.
Kyle, can you direct me to the page in this proposed budget of where the roads are listed? The roads budget is listed. Is it under engineering?
No, it's under, street. Probably not new roads.
Got a page number?
No, the page, the individual funds are page the,
Okay, I found it. Well, it says page 22, but it's back here towards the back. Street.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
it's about halfway through the pack, there's a line item, it's right after the,
IH operating supplies.
Parks and, you see Parks and Rec?
Yes.
Turn
Should-
the page.
Should it be roughly 1.1 million with the transfer from general fund of 766,000?
the budget right now assumes $750,000, the proposed budget is $750,000 for next year, for next fiscal year. That 1.2 is this current fiscal year,
Total street aid budget?
$750,000.
That's just the road and maintenance line, so that would be where the paving and other contracts come out of. All money is required for roads maintenance. So that flat line, but there are some other operating expenses. We have 4 employees under that budget as well, and some other expenses. So The bulk of it is the 750 for paving.
But the total budget is about 1.1 million, correct?
Yeah.
Anybody else have any discussion, comments? If not, I'll make a couple. I agree that we're strapping this city's ability to do what is in the best interest of all our citizens by strapping our road budget down 700 grand. We all know what the roads look like around here. That's the one thing I see and get the most complaints about is the roads. I think that's foolish taking that out of our budget. It's not taking care of our citizens and their needs. That's what they're paying taxes for. Also, the Canada Road project. We stand to lose $20 million that the state is giving us to build this project. Our contribution is $5 million. So we're willing to tell the state, we don't want your $20 million because we have something else that's much more important than serving all the citizens of this city. I think that's ludicrous in and of itself. If we decline this loan, the way I've heard it from the people at the state I've talked to, we're going to pay for it for 5 years before they'll even reconsider. So I think this amendment, just to try to shuffle money around, to try to make something magically work, without giving the people of this city a vote on financing for a school, is the absolute lowest I have ever seen in my life. I never dreamed we would get to this point where this is more important than taking care of everyone and letting the citizens have a voice and a vote to decide the school issue once and for all, for now. Let's let the citizens have a say. If it's a yes, then we move forward and we find a way to finance it and we build the best school that we can. If it's a no, we don't just stop. We keep trying to find ways to get to the point where we can grow enough to make this school successful. That's all I have to say. We don't need, please don't clap. I just think that we're just grasping at straws now and a last-ditch effort just to avoid the vote of the people. Let's let the people have a say. It's 2 years since the last vote. Nobody knows how it's going to go. There might have been a lot of changes in people's opinions and minds. Let's let the citizens have a vote. Because I will respect the will of the people. I can tell you that right now. So that's my comments on this, and any other further comments, or I will close discussion and we will vote.
Again, I would, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to say, the integrity of this board is in question tonight. And,
Point of order. Which I'm allowed to. Unruly crowd needs to be removed.
no.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Y'all just let us finish, please, okay? That's everybody, if you would, please.
Again, the integrity of this board is we're losing it, folks. I said it at the last meeting. We have a bad habit of ignoring the will of the people in the city, and we just did it again, and then we slapped them in the face when they came up here tonight to talk to us, because apparently there was a glitch in the agenda here. That's just nuts. I'm begging you guys, but you're losing the support of folks out there. You've had some hangers on and want to support you guys. I'm telling you, tonight is a pretty disappointing. It's pretty disappointing. I've sat on that side and watched you guys. Now I'm up here and I'm embarrassed. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to close the floor for discussion on the amendment. Ms.
I'd
Deborah,
like to have the floor,
please.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, I'll rescind the close of the discussion and you have the floor.
Thank you very much. So when I showed the presentation on exactly using the numbers of what it would take to get to, I think I had 54 or 58 cents. There were certain parameters that were used. And so in order to get as close to that possible tax increase, then obviously I have to have those parameters in place so that when they're figuring out the possible tax rate, they understand that those aren't just my parameters that are on the board, that were given in a presentation to get to some fancy low number. Those were an actual policy decision made by the board that they are ranking, that we are ranking in order of importance different projects throughout the city. And so the only way to do that is with an amendment that allows the board to speak. And so that is why I brought it forward, and I believe in it wholeheartedly. And tonight, this is a vote in the right direction for basic, very much needed infrastructure for our city, a path for our children to be able to complete their K-12 education in Lakeland, and it allows the flexibility of staff and financial advisors to be able to rank this project in importance with other projects. So again, I would ask my colleagues to vote for this unanimously, because it is very important. The last I heard was that we were scrapping other projects. The last meeting I wasn't able to attend, I had something come up. That we scrapped other projects, that we need to focus on the ones that are most important, need our time, energy, and efforts. I believe this is it, and this amendment speaks to that.
Okay, the floor is officially closed. Ms. Debbie, would you please call the roll on the amendment to the already approved resolution?
Vice Mayor Long,
Yes.
Commissioner Dow,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
No.
Commissioner Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Cunningham.
No.
3 yes, 2 no's.
All right. The amended resolution is carried. And before I call for a motion to adjourn, I'm going to make one public statement. And I will have a prepared statement at the next BOC meeting. And I will assure you, it's going to raise some eyebrows. I want Shane and Mike both to understand, going forward, I will add, as the mayor, a public comments section to every agenda as long as I'm sitting in this chair, for any called meeting or any regular Board of Commissioners meeting or any work session. I will add the ability for public comments. We're not going to have a slip up like this again. I believe in the voice of the people and their right to speak as much as I believe in the will of the people and their right to vote on something that is as astronomical as borrowing this kind of money through this type of funding process. And my comments are done, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make some comments. If you're able to make some comments, I'd like to as well.
I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Have a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.